Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Splitgate update video. My name is Jesse Griffin, and I'm the Live Ops Project Coordinator here at 1047 Games. I'm of course joined by Derek Jones, our lead game designer, and Ian Prue, our co-founder and CEO. Today we're here to talk about our upcoming playtest, and we couldn't be more excited. We have a lot coming in, and it's going to be a very large test. We have new portal tech, 3 new weapons, we're shaking up some equipment, and a brand new category of map pickups. Josh, our design director, he was one who said this is our largest playtest yet and is truly a Sandbox evolution, and we couldn't agree more. With this playtest in mind, it's on November 8th and 9th, starting at 10 a.m. for both days and ending at 1 p.m. This is going to be the first time we're doing a Saturday-Sunday split as well, rather than a Friday-Saturday. So hopefully anyone who is wanting to play that hasn't been able to, hopefully you can go ahead and jump in and play some games and give us some feedback. Without further ado, Ian, can you talk a bit about the playlist within the playtest and some of the Sandbox changes?
Absolutely, and I'll just say to echo what you and what Josh said, like this is the biggest playtest probably we've had yet. There's a lot of changes, a lot of new content in this, a lot of stuff we're looking for feedback on. So definitely, if you haven't joined a playtest, or if you're thinking about it, this is the one to join. So please do come by. We would love your feedback. Something we've been working on is playlist selection so that you don't have to get stuck playing the modes you don't want to play. For the purposes of this playtest, we're only going to have 2 options, which is our arena mode, which will have loadouts, just like we've been playtesting, and then also the more recent classic mode, which I think you guys playtested last playtest, where it's even starts. Everybody's got, same carbine, same assault rifle. We've actually adjusted that now, which we'll talk about in a bit, but we've added an EMP grenade, just like that true Splitgate classic experience. So in the classic arena mode, you will have an EMP grenade now.
It's great to actually provide mode selection as well. It's been a large request for quite some time now, so being able to provide the players with that request is amazing. Another request from the players, and it's great that we were actually talking about this internally as well, but power-ups. Ian, if you would speak a bit on that for me as well.
Yeah, so obviously you guys know we removed factions, which was pretty overwhelmingly well received. But one of the things people asked for that we saw a lot of requests was, is there a way we could rework these abilities into the form of a power-up? And so we haven't done exactly that, but we have 3 power-ups that we're going to be testing. So one of them is Rush. It's exactly the same functionality as the Adrenaline Rush from Eros. But instead of it being something that you activate, it's a power-up just like in Halo or Quake, where you fight over that power position, you touch the power-up, you gain that ability. We've also got Hyper Sight, so kind of reminiscent of Meridian's ability. It's a little bit different, so it does not reveal enemies for your teammates through walls. It's more of just an individual power-up. You capture that power-up on the map, and now you can see enemies through walls temporarily. And then for our third power-up, we just kept it classic, OG, overshield, super simple, but really changes the way that things play, where all of a sudden you get that massive health boost. So we're really excited. We've been playtesting it internally, and I think it was a great idea that stemmed from the community, and now we've got kind of our first version of actually showing it to you guys. So excited to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great playtest. It's a lot of fun using these former abilities now as pickups. It's a great time, and I think it plays really well in the Sandbox. One of the largest changes that we have here, portal overcharging. Derek, can you talk a bit about that for me?
Yeah, so last time that we were messing with portals, we did obviously portal cooldown, which was not well received, but what we heard from the community was basically like, we want to see counterplay, not limits to the portal gun. So that's what we've got here with portal wall overcharging. Basically, the way it works is if one player places both of their portals on the same portal wall, that portal wall gets overcharged and blocked for everyone. So nobody can use that wall as long as their portals remain on that wall. So what that's done is instead of limiting the person placing portals, it provides counterplay. You can block a wall on the hill, similar to what you could do in Splitgate.
And I'll add to this, there's a couple things I really like about the way this plays. So for one, it's frustrating. Like the reason portal charges didn't work, well, there was a variety of reasons, but it's not fun to nerf this awesome mechanic that we love. But instead, by having a counter, it doesn't just stop me from portals. It forces me to have to explore and adapt and pivot, really. So, maybe you block off that wall, now I got to go the long way. I got to go a different route and portal over to somewhere I might not normally fight. The other thing that we like about this is there's a trade-off, because if I'm going to dedicate both of my portals to blocking off this wall, I'm not portaling, right? So I've kind of given up my 2 portals to shut off one wall temporarily at the expense of, well, now I can't flank you until I actually remove that thing. And so I'll let Derek kind of finish on the vision, but those are 2 of the things I really like about it personally.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to get this into the players' hands. We've done a good amount of testing, and it's been really well received so far. But we want to hear from you guys because, of course, any touches to portal mechanics we know is going to be important to get right. But we're feeling good about it.
When you have a wall that's overcharged, is there a way to combat this?
Yeah, so that transitions well into EMPs. Like Ian mentioned, and like you mentioned earlier, we're adding EMPs into the sandbox. So EMPs are going to be a loadout equipment in the standard arena experience. And then in Classic, everyone gets one, just like in Splitgate. But EMPs work a bit different. The way it works now is instead of just clearing portals, when you EMP a wall, it controls that wall for your team. So if I EMP a wall, now only my team can use that wall for a limited amount of time until that effect expires. About, I think right now in internal testing, it's about 7 seconds that you control the wall for. So what we like about that is it adds additional utility to the EMP, and then it works really well with portal overcharging because if somebody blocks a wall, I can EMP that, which now means that the other team can't block that wall with portal overcharging, and now I can get in and infiltrate the hill or whatever.
It's great to see EMP grenades are back, reimagined, and a great addition to the equipment that we have. Derek, I'll throw this once again to you. Like I said earlier, we are mixing up the equipment. We're shaking some stuff up. Can you talk a bit about that?
I think there's a lot of areas that Splitgate 2 was an improvement upon Splitgate 1, but I think one of the places where we took a bit of a step back and that we heard from the community that we took a bit of a step back was in combat clarity. And we're doing a lot of things to try to improve that, but one of the places that we've seen combat clarity kind of take a hit is with some of the equipment usage. So, you'll be in a fight and then, how much health do they have? I'm not sure because maybe they used an equipment. I can't see them very well because there's these pulsing VFX all over the place with time domes and heal grenades and all this stuff really, makes it harder to see what's going on and understand what's going on. So in this test, we're going to be testing the removal of some equipment from the sandbox. It is just a test. We're going to be asking in all the surveys about were there any equipment that you liked seeing gone? Which equipment did you miss the most? Some of these might be making a comeback in future tests, but we're going to be testing without proximity mine, recon radar, region cloud, sand grenade, and time dome. So those equipment will not be selectable within loadouts, which we think really simplifies the sandbox, makes everything read a lot better. It also removes some kind of redundancy that we were seeing in internal playtesting with like heal grenade and stim shot. They kind of do the same thing, and now without factions, that's become pretty redundant. So we like a lot of things about removing these equipment, but we want to hear from you guys once again and see what you guys think.
Continuing on with the idea of combat, Ian, can you talk about some of our new additional weapons that we have for this playtest?
Yeah, so I'm super excited about these guns. We've added 3 new weapons, all of which are kind of LMG archetypes, but they're all quite a bit different. So we have the Velocity LMG. That is pretty much your standard LMG, right? Like low damage, high fire rate, tons of ammo, just unload on people. We've got 2 other LMGs, though, that are quite a bit different. So one of them, the Barrage, is a triple shot. So you are shooting 3 bullets at the same time. It's automatic, a little bit slower fire rate. So you don't have quite the range or precision as you do on the other LMGs, but you're shooting 3 bullets at the same time repeatedly, and so you can really just pack a heavy punch on that. The other one, the Strata LMG, which is energy-based, is kind of an automatic burst rifle almost. So it's shooting 4 shots at a time, kind of like a da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Very precise, kind of in-between damage in terms of the 2 other weapons. We're really looking forward to getting feedback on how these are fitting into the rest of the sandbox. But I'll say in terms of just feel and fun, I'm feeling really good about it. They are fun weapons to use. But of course, I'm sure some are going to be OP, some are going to be underpowered, and that's where we can use your help.
As we wrap up here or come to a close rather shortly, is there anything else players can expect to see in the playtest, Ian?
There's a lot happening behind the scenes that aren't necessarily like big highlights, but there's a few that I'll call out now. One of them is just our controller feel. We've gotten feedback in the past that, it just doesn't quite feel right compared to Splitgate 1. And we actually have spent a lot of time trying to improve that feel, get it closer to OG Splitgate. I've actually been playing a lot of controller recently of just Splitgate 1 and 2 and other games to try to get that feel back. And I think it's in a very good spot. But again, that's another thing we'd love your feedback on if you're a controller player. We also have a couple other things. So in terms of portals, some things we're testing. There's that portal trail when somebody comes out that you can see. So something we've explored testing is just to kind of give you a better sense of where they're going, especially like teammates, for example. You go through that portal, you have no idea where you're coming out, and so adding a trail effect to tell you where is this portal taking me that I can't see through. Again, it's subtle, but it's there to sort of help just with that disorientation. So we'll be looking for feedback on that. We've been continuing to make changes to audio when it comes to portals. So, gunshots coming out. Again, a lot of this is about combat clarity, not just in terms of removing things, but also in terms of adding things. Are there distinct sounds that will tell me where a bullet's coming from, where a portal's coming from? And then lastly, this is actually something we fixed in a previous playtest and hadn't mentioned, but we've gotten a lot of feedback about, I'm getting shot through portals like left and right. It feels like the bullets are giant or something. This was actually a bug that was pretty low level with networking optimizations. Anyway, we have fixed that bug, so no longer will it be the case where you are standing behind a portal and you're 5 feet to the left and somehow getting shot through your own portal. So it should feel 1,000 times better. And there's all sorts of other optimizations and polish and bug fixing happening behind the scenes. But a lot of good stuff. But those are the highlights, and we're excited to get everybody's feedback. And just feeling really good about relaunch.
Once again, this playtest, November 8th and 9th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. We can't wait to have you. And if you want to get a bit more involved here in the community, you can join our Discord, find our Twitter. We have all of our links down below. And it means a lot that you take the time out of your day to not only watch these videos, but if you can participate in these playtests and join the discussion, it really does mean a lot. So with that, thank you once again, Derek, Ian, and the viewers. And we will see you this weekend. Thank you so much.